All right, my name is Sarah Burke. I am one of the public adjusters that's going to be assisting with the Meyer USAA claim. This claim you guys have approved for 2 squares out of the entire roof, and so I kind of wanted to essentially get you guys on this roof from my perspective, and I'm going to also be doing a repair attempt. So first and foremost, like what I wanted to point out is that the quality of this shingle is not top quality. So we are going to see it age much faster than a normal 3-tap shingle. You can see that just in these gutters, all the granules that have fallen off. I mean, it's very thick of just the granules that have fallen off from windstorms. Give me a second, I'm gonna get on the roof. Another thing I wanted to point out, I did ask the adjuster which 2 squares of the roof is being replaced because they're not identified by facet. The main factor in this is the valleys. So we have one facet here that kind of stands alone and ends here, right? And comes down here. And as you can see here where I stepped in, we have that it ties in here. And I'll show you, because we do have wind damage shingles on this roof, or on this facet. I have not chalked it. I can chalk it for you, but you can already see the wind damage shingles just from the angle of seeing it here. These are a very dark shingle. That's the one I just pointed at, but as you can see here, we've got wind damage here. So when replacing those, so here's another one. You see that it ties under this facet. So this facet here ties over this facet with the anatomy of the roof. Now we do have wind damage shingles here. There is one there. There is one here, as you can see. But as you can see here, let's see, it is deep underneath this facet. Meaning, if this facet is one of the ones that you are replacing with those 2 squares, you have to rip up this side. It's gonna have consequential damage because these are so deep underneath here. It probably comes to about here, which means you're gonna damage all of these shingles here. And let me walk you over here. We also have the vents here. These are nailed on both sides. So they're nailed here on this front facet that we were just talking about, as well as over here. So we've got a shingle here, a teeny tiny one here. That's what it's nailed into, as well as over here. So these 2 are tying into each other. Now we'll go over here, and again, same story. We've got valleys that are massively tying in. Again, this roof is not chalked, so I will point them out to you guys. Here are a few. As you can see here, the difference of the quality, like just the quality of this shingle versus normal 3 taps that we're used to looking at. You can see the size in this one. It's wind damage is much smaller than this one. We've got another one here, here, here. So again, if this is part of the 2 squares that you are replacing, we're gonna have a problem with the anatomy of the roof because this valley is also tying way under here, as you can see. So if you're gonna replace this facet, now you're gonna have to rip up this one in order to just repair at this point. Now, there are wind damage shingles on this one as well. Come down here and show you how we're lacing into each other. So it starts lacing in here. So they kind of share a facet here, and then it starts lacing in here, is in one facet. Now we'll come back over here. Looks like we got a wind damage shingle right here too. where it goes into under this facet. Okay. Here's another issue, is we've got a tarp here and a tarp here because we have wind-blown ridge cap shingles that have fallen off. So they are tarped in order to protect the home, but we do have wind damaged shingles on this facet as well. Sorry, the neighbor is mowing. I hope you guys can still hear me. So again, with the wind damaged shingles on this facet, it's the same story as the other two on the other side. As you can see here, we are really tying into each other, just one on top of each other, making this impossible to repair without having consequential damages to the other facets. I'll walk down here. As you can see here, the facets share and then start tying under. So this front facet is under here and it's under there. You can also see, again, the amount of granules that are just falling off this roof. And again, I know that this roof is 5 years old, but due to the quality of this shingle, it does not have a long lifespan. So as you can see there, I'm pointing out one of the shingles here on this front facet. There are tons of wind damage shingles here as well. All right, let's go to the other side. Now we're on the back side. Again, we have wind damage shingles here. We have caps that have fallen off on this side where tarps are protecting the home. And now we're on the back slope. Here is one of the caps actually that has fallen off from up there. And again, same story on this facet. We have multiple wind damage shingles all over this back slope. And as you can see here, the back marries in to this facet. Not only that, but this back slope, which does have wind damage shingles all over it. Again, not sure if this is part of your 2 square repair. You can see that one there. Ties right underneath here. Let's see if I can get a good pic for you guys. Here we go. Way under there. Comes to about right here. So if this is part of the 2 squares that you're replacing, you have to pull up this side in order to do a proper repair. So now you're gonna have consequential damages here. All right, so we're still on this back slope. I think I've made my point. This is coming under here. This is not so much of a problem as the others because this is just such a small facet here, facet there. This back slope is actually on top of this one, as well as this side. But we've got a wind damage shingle here, wind shingle there. All right, we come over here. Same thing. We're still looking at this back facet. I don't know if you guys have separated it, but this facet is on top of that facet. And it's the same on the other side, which I'll walk over there in a minute. So all of this is what I wanted to actually put the desk adjuster on the roof to see what it is that I am seeing. Again, I understand this is a 5-6-year-old roof. It should not be sustaining this wind damage, but it is because of the quality of this shingle that was put on here. When is a covered peril, we do have to indemnify them, and we have to indemnify them by bringing them back to pre-loss conditions. But we're not going to be able to do that because of the anatomy of the roof. With all these valleys tying into each other, you're going to have consequential damages. Now, you do afford for consequential damages in the policy. Example, if a homeowner has a fire, you do pay for the smoke consequential to be cleared out. So same goes for here. We have to afford for the consequential damage that will happen with these valleys and being repaired. Now I'm going to do a repair attempt as well to show you that the roof is not repairable, and we will go from there. Thank you.